Welcome back to the quarantine days.
Quarantine days. It's time to get quarantined.
Listen to weird shit and get it all done. Quarantine days of Cover Decoder. Once again, you're listening to Inks. We got Brengineer, and once again, Tapes is naked because it's his house. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah, I'm recording. We're not at the bookhouse, so I'm recording in Couch Corner Studios. Couch Corner Studios, folks.
Couch Corner Studios. Yeah. Look it up. Yeah. You won't find it. Today is a very important one for me. This is a very... first, I got to say that we're here to untwist the jar of rations to reveal the fragrant gooiness within. That is what we do, folks.
Why were my rations all ham?
What's that?
I've got such bad meat belly.
Because you needed to slap them on your eyes for Schleck.
Oh, that's right. I forgot Schleck.
Yeah. Is he okay with the substituting Spam for ham on the eye mask?
You know, is it a high?
It's more like a facial smear.
Is it a high salt meat item? Then yes, we're a go.
You know what's crazy is, though I'm from Texas and it's associated with redneckery, I had never had Spam until I got up these parts.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, because there's cows everywhere in Texas. I mean, if you can't find meat for cheap, you got a problem.
Is Spam a natural cow item? Is it just like peeled off their balls or something?
No, it's ham.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's pig.
It was a ground pig part.
I'm gonna tell you what, if this quarantine goes any longer, some of them tree pigs is looking really good.
Oh, I like them tree pigs, the furry ones with the big tails.
Of fat little tree pigs.
Yeah, I've been my nilbogs have been going so crazy inside. I've been taking them out, and they've just been catching roadkill. So we've been learning how to skin roadkill.
Dang.
Roadkill.
It's easy because you just pick them up by the tail, and all the meat just slides out of the tube.
You don't even need to do that. People are feeding these tree pigs with their bird feeders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're easy pickings. You know what I'm talking about, right? Those tree pigs, they got the bushy tail and the...
Oh, yeah. They're tree pigs.
Okay.
Farm pig?
I'm going to get back to what I was going to say, which this one is important. Covers are important, but this one is an important one to me because when I was first thinking about podcasting, I wanted to talk about something really important, like the real important issues that are, facing our country and our generation, and that is what happened to vampires. Ooh. How did we get where we are?
Very good.
Yes.
And
why do they get sparkles?
Why do they get sparkles?
Why do they get chappy?
Why are they allergic to silver all of a sudden? That's werewolves, people. But it's very interesting what's happened to vampires, and a lot of things that I read trace it back to I Am Legend.
Oh, I am legend. The legend is high.
Now, if you're thinking of Will Smith and his dog walking through a desolate city,
Willie Smith?
I'm here to show you the light. That's the first thing, right? That's the first one. That was the first movie. I Am Legend with Will Smith. Well, okay.
There were 3 renditions of this film.
Yeah, but
based off the Richard Matheson novel.
Yeah, the 1954 Richard Matheson novel, which was super influential to how we view vampires and zombies nowadays. And the only movie that shares that title is probably the worst rendition, in my opinion.
Which is?
And we're about to get into it.
Oh, Schmitty.
Slide 1, folks.
Will Schmitty.
So are we talking about the Fresh Prince of the Apocalypse?
Oh, man. Take a look at my kingdom. Finally here. I am legend. Don't shoot me in the rear. Yeah, so first slide, you'll see a photo from the movie. Will Smith walking through New York with his DVD.
This is a cover for the movie. I believe this is a poster. It's probably on DVD or
it's
DVD.
On the DVD.
This is everything I despise about modern cinema posters.
We got
it's the same thing that...
This is very 2010.
Oh, yeah. It's
easily.
like if you guys were... Go ahead. It's like...
Yeah, this is very late 2000s going in, like, up through, 2015 or whatever. This is very much what these posters were like. These photo composites, basically.
Even like if you look at Oblivion, it's the hero, a thing, and then some destroyed bland background, and it's like, oh, it's space. There's a lot of spaciousness.
Sucks.
You can. There's no stock market.
Yeah.
Everyone has bought all the spam.
Yeah, there's no flavor here. I mean, this is similar. I don't know if you saw the film The Road.
Or the cover for Disturbed.
Which The Road I like that movie pretty good.
Yeah.
No, it's a great one, but if we're just talking how the film was marketed, it's very much a dark, gloomy background, central figures.
Right.
Dreary. It's apocalypse.
Yeah.
Yes, ruined bridge. Will Smith alone with his dog.
Oh, no.
Apocalypse.
That's right.
It's just like, there's no zest. Where's the flavor?
Well, and we've talked a lot about color palettes too in this, and the color palette in this is so boring. It's brown.
It looks like my piss.
Yeah, after a long night of drinking,
That's
this
what
is
you
what
have
there's.
to drink in the future. When you're all by yourself, there's no distilled water. Yeah, it is. I don't know. It's forgettable. Let's say that. If you're in Pappy's Vidges, you'd walk right by.
Yep, absolutely.
Now,
there's no monster. There's no cool monster.
Yeah.
What's the cool
Here's
monster?
what I really hate about it. Okay, so let's just look at.
Yeah, we're not getting away from this one.
There's this weird column of just words going down the back and descending through the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is that supposed to be in there?
Yeah, it's part of the.
What are those words? What do those
you're
words
right.
say? What is that?
You know what I think it is?
It's probably the lyrics to Fresh Prince.
Okay. And then on top of that, you have the tagline: "The last man on Earth is not alone."
Wah, wah.
And then on top of that, you have Big Will Smith. And then the very bottom in
tiny little margin is "I Am Legend."
Yeah.
It's so ineffective.
Yeah, this is so bland.
Yeah.
Very sad cover.
So before this movie came out, I went back. I had read the book, and the book is excellent for 1954. Not for 19. It's in that good old fashioned one character driven, like brooding sci-fi.
Sci-fi horror
fiction from that era of the early 60s. This is 1954. But it's very much, it puts you in a mood. You have to be careful when you're reading this book because it doesn't put you in a happy or adventurous mood. It's very much about loneliness and what it means to be tortured by it. And,
wow. Like no one can relate to that right now, folks.
Yeah.
It's the perfect story for you.
This is quarantine days, and this got us going. We looked at the sickness posters in the first Quarantine Days episode, and I immediately was like, oh my God, got to do I Am Legend because
it's time.
It is time. And I want to send you to next slide, which is the cover of the book that I read.
Real quick, before we go to the next slide.
Next slide.
I got to do full justice. So the book that you read and some of the other films you've seen, does the Will Smith cover here, does this do the book justice? Does it do the material justice?
Well, one of the weird things is the book takes place in Los Angeles. It doesn't take place in New York. They moved it to New York to give it that, I don't know, to have a broken bridge. But the thing about LA versus New York is New York's very like claustrophobic. LA is so spread out. So you get this like sense of like vastness of distance. And another difference between them. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I hate to say I could be wrong, but I don't think he's a doctor in the book. And the book is not about finding a cure.
Is Will Smith a doctor in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
That's why, that's one of the big problems I have with the movie is the movie would have been fine if it would have ended right, but it ended in a way that totally shits on the original premise of the book, the reward that you get at the end of the book, the sweet nougaty center to the candy bar. You don't get that.
And why are all the zombie vampires like shaving themselves and rolling around in Vaseline? They're all like bald and glistening, and their jaws. And that was the other thing. This is the 2000s or whatever, when everything had to go.
Yeah, this is post Blade. We need no. Yeah, that's another thing. When I brought this up because I want to talk about vampires, and originally, vampires, they didn't necessarily drink blood. If you were to stake them in the heart, they wouldn't just melt into dust. The whole staking thing was to keep them in their grave. So you just kind of like, what would probably work is if we just stake that bugger down in there.
And what are we gonna? How are we gonna keep him from getting up, Cal? Well,
sir, what I think is we need a good wooden stake, and we'll keep that sucker right down in its grave.
Right down in its grave.
Suckle my sister's teeth.
I'll come back after a hard night's night, staking some poor bugger to the ground. I'll go back into me hut. And I see Denise there with me brother.
Oh, goodness.
I've just been out there with Charles staking zombies to the ground, and you're on the airplane licking there with me brother.
Oh, he's doing a bit of his own staking.
I wish I could give you a staking.
So this book kind of brings vampires into a scientific mindset, because the main character is trying to figure out, as a modern 1954 man, what is going on here. Why are these creatures from legend now plaguing him? Next slide, you will see the cover of the book that I read.
So, okay. I have always, this will always be the ultimate I Am Legend artwork.
I've never seen this before.
It's unbelievable.
It's incredible.
Yeah, this is great.
It's
no,
really
I
incredible.
haven't.
And I did a deep dive on this today. If you look, there's two pictures here. You've got the book, and then you've got the original painting. Now, this was painted by Jim Theisen. And I don't know if it's two S's or one S. I saw it both ways. But Jim is not on the internet in any major way. He is on like a bunch of different like fine art sites. He's doing fairies and gnomes and orcs and wizards
orcs
now.
And creatures.
But he did a lot of horror.
How do you make this shit? This is full on Gornak territory. He said screw elves.
This is a pretty terrifying cover. I mean,
dude, look at the baby.
Yeah,
it's the baby from Dead Alive.
What's very interesting is if you look at the book cover, they took like the more central area of the original painting, and then they cut this guy's head out from the bottom right, and they pasted it up above on the character before.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna shit on this for a second. I hate. Why did they? They screwed the cover, dude. Look how crappy this cover is.
They fucked it up. This is artist plight here. Jim Theisen. I actually found an interview with him from a magazine that I'm gonna link to in the links, and it was a pretty thorough interview. And he had talked about how he had started. He's from New York, and he had started taking classes at the Art Student League in New York, but he was mostly self-taught and learned on the job. And he started his career with a 3-page comic for heavy metal. That was 1983. And then 1987, he got himself an agent and he started doing book covers, and he did a lot of horror, and he became the horror guy. Maybe that's why he's painting, like fantasy stuff now, because that's what he's always wanted to do. But he was doing a lot of horror. Now, I don't have it on the slide, and I do have links to these pictures, but he did a lot of stuff for Stephen King. He did a Carrie one. Yeah, he did a Shining one. But
these vampires are phenomenal.
What's that? All right. Okay. The interview had a pretty interesting story where he had talked about working for a toy company. And this is like, he kind of ripped on art directors for a minute, and I totally get this after working with people who are directing your art or being your client. And I'm not like ripping on clients, but this is something, if you're an artist that does commissions and stuff, this happens to you. And he said that he drew this caveman, facing up to a T-Rex, and the art director took it in front of the board, and the board was like, it looks great, but can we have the caveman's head tilted slightly up? And the art director brought it back to him and said, hey, can you tilt the head slightly up? And he goes, sure. And he knew that it wasn't necessary. They were just trying to find something to justify their job. So he took it back, he took it home, and then he brought it in the next day and was like, here you go. And the art director was like, oh, great, much better. Nailed it, JT.
Hey, that 45-degree angle really killed it, son.
He does not miss those stupid games that he had to play. But
dude, that's so rough. If you're an artist, just know you're gonna get the jerk around.
You're gonna get the jerk
hard
around.
sauce.
I mean, there's a saying, and I've had this happen to me before, where a camel is a horse designed by a committee.
That is a saying. I will say that saying every day.
A camel is a horse designed by a committee. But what happened was he was asked by the art director to paint, to do a painting, and he said, I want vampires. I want lots of vampires. And he had not read the book. He then read the book, and he was like, yeah, I want to go with this vast legion. Because in the book, almost everyone in the world is vampires except for the main character.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
He's the last human.
Yeah, they're like chlamydia in a college campus.
And he captured that.
Spreading around.
Babies, women's, old people, skull thingies. They're all vampires. And
babies apparently.
Right.
So do the babies grow up still and like get to live forever, or do they just stay as babies?
Forever.
Baby society. But he said he was kind of going for a Geiger kind of feel to this, and he definitely used Geiger's palette and even like the mistiness, but I think
there is not enough metal penises and going into the metal orifices. There is not enough alien foreheads and the mechanical nipples.
You got very close to it, but you don't do a good job with all the penises.
Where are the vaginas? There are no vaginas anywhere. I demand vagina.
He almost sounds like a robot when he was talking.
Geiger couldn't get his vaginas in there. Where are my vaginas?
With the vaginas, I did as I felt like it was a good idea.
For shame on you.
So this was for Tor Books, who was republishing Richard Matheson's book, and they took the painting and they were like, great. Well, then they fucked with it. They cropped it up. They added the fuzz, and when you do stuff like that, you're supposed to inform the artist and pay them because they were changing the art.
He didn't know.
And he saw that and went F, but he decided it wasn't worth the money or the time to mess with it. But he says it hardly feels like his work anymore. Even though this is still eye-catching to me, but after seeing the original painting, it's a real shame. It's a real shame.
This is bad. This is shame.
No,
shame.
I mean, if you saw it
they should bury their heads in the sand.
Good, like it's love.
One of the most effective things you can do for a cover, I think, is not put anything on it.
Yeah.
I know you can't really do that with a book. You're supposed to have, author and stuff or whatever, but a lot of albums, I've seen covers that's just the art. I think it's so effective.
Yeah, you
mess
can
with the artwork.
Really like in that black of the, and again, if you want to follow along, folks, coverdecoder.com, we have the links. In that black space of the vampire wave, you could have like a little yellow I Am Legend and by Richard Matheson and be done. Because he did a fantastic job, but they couldn't help themselves. They messed with it. They didn't recognize Jim Theisen. We're recognizing you, Jim. And I have to say,
your cover was the shit.
What's with the filigree? What's with that stupid filigree stuff on top?
Boom.
Dude, you know what happened? You know what happened is Jim Werwithal came in and he's like, oh, hey, what's this? And they're like, oh, it's the new painting for I Am Legend. And he looked at it and he said, oh, it's a little scary.
Ooh,
it's a little scary. What's with the baby here? I don't think the readers are gonna. There's a little girl. Maybe we could just cut a bit of that out there and put some of the scary faces in the background. So they cut out all the scary crap. They got rid of the Nosferatu in the front, the dead baby, and they just put the regular vampire faces in the front.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. It's horrible.
And what's cool about this is you've got different vampires reacting differently. There's some hissing, there's some attacking, there's some, feeling, looking like they're lamenting or feeling confused. And that's a part of the book. One of the most effective things in the book is at night he has to play music, as loud as he can and put earplugs in to try and not listen to all the vampires beating on his walls and his neighbor calling his name. And one of the things that really tortures him, at one point he looks outside the house and he sees the vampire women like, showing all their goods, and this is a celibate man at the end of the world.
Moms and mams? Clapping?
He's like,
man, you're alone, you're quarantined, you're jumping through that window. You got a fat Leroy, and you're going to bust through that glass I'm coming for you. It's been 180 days, and I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't make it.
Suck the blood out. It's going to take a lot of time.
I got a full tank for you. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up on Jim Theisen here. He did good. Go look at his work. It's excellent. He doesn't have a website, but you can find it on different fan art.
His dragon pieces are awesome.
Yeah, are you clicking? Yeah, he's got a couple of fine art websites that he's on. And I wanted to say too, he used acrylics on this. All of his stuff is done in acrylics, which it looks like oil to me. So, dude,
it does.
Acrylics. It can be what you want it to be.
Acrylics for life.
Acrylics for life. Don't tell me.
We may have an acrylic boy in the house here.
Acrylic life.
Yeah. All right. Slide number 3.
Ooh, I like this. Well,
okay, so this
I do too. Except you know what it looks like. These look like Western covers.
Yeah,
these look like covers for a Western, and then they painted in these bodies. Like these bodies don't even look like they belong to the same piece.
Well, this is the first edition. This was painted by Stanley Meltzoff. Stanley
Meltzoff. I love that.
Meltzoff, also from Manhattan, and he did a lot of book covers in the 1950s. And this is actually depicting a part of the book is this giant burning pit that he goes to every day to throw bodies into. So every day he has to mask up like there's COVID around, and
you got to throw the COVID mask on
as he dumps vampire bodies into this burning pit. So it's kind of got this classical art look. You can tell it's definitely oils. It's oil on board.
Except Brengineer is right. So the original painting, if you had left it that, it would have been very very chaos. But they threw this red. This American red and gold medal. This is I Am Legend, read by Sam Elliott. Donnie knew when he was going into the vampire cave, he was going to have to burn him.
This is straight up. You walk into a gas station off Route 66. And you're going for some peanuts.
Dude, this is on a koozie.
And there's a little carousel there of books, and you're kind of picking through, and you grab this one, and this one here is a Western about some sort of legend.
I was quarantined with vampires. It was really hard to stay. They were waving their flappy bits in my face. Flappy bits in my face.
And there you go. You slap a quarter on the bar, you get your Pall Malls, and you're out of there.
Yeah, this... I don't know what to say other than, yes, I think Stanley did a good job. It's very biblical looking.
Yeah, totally. For sure.
And it's a solid. I mean, it's a solid cover. Still, it beats that Will Smith business that we looked at first.
Oh, for sure. I love it. It's just funny. I have in my vast library of books so many. Science fiction books from the 50s and 60s that have this exact same sort of look to them. And honestly, this is how book covers should look, but they don't anymore. And so this was very much a time from the 50s. So whenever I see art like this on books, I think it's an old book. Yeah, if that makes sense.
For me, it's a bit washed out and busy. I like the high contrast of the other one. If you look to the third picture here, I could not find the artist for this. I tried. This was put out by Corgi Books in the UK, and it's really hard to find this cover actually and this book at all. But it's a pretty effective cover. It's almost like it zooms in on what the other one was trying to depict, and it's got
this to me
is straight up
completely fails at depicting I Am Legend. No, this looks like a mystery novel, like the man who killed his next door neighbor's wife.
That's his wife.
Look at the font. Look at this this. I don't even know what this is.
Look at those pointy 1950 boobs. Yeah.
Dude, look at this poor housewife with the cone boobs.
Yeah. She got the cone chi-chis from 1950. Yeah,
dude, she's got the Flintstone hairdo.
He's holding a hammer.
He just clubbed her over the head with an axe. He's going to roll her into a pit of fire.
Yeah. Well, this is a big part of the book, too, that he thinks about a lot, is having to stake his own wife. And that's what this is depicting of, going in for a smoochamus, and she starts to suck a little bit harder than he expected. And
hey, I'm just saying, when you're quarantined with your wife for many days,
you give her all the blood she wants. Yeah.
You start thinking.
She can have whatever blood she wants. But yeah, so the big finish, the big finale of the book, and if you haven't read the book, I'm sorry, I'm about to ruin it for you, is about how spoilers. At some point in the book, he meets a young woman, and yes, and she's attractive, of course, and she seems normal. She seems like a human, and he's like, nice, I'm not alone, and he invites her into the home and everything. And eventually he sees her sticking herself with some serum, blade stuff. I need my serum. And
hey, we don't do any of that stuff in here, kitty cat. Get out. Back to the street with you.
Oh, what are you shooting up? Some pop, some hooch, some wow, some fizzle, some bang? This is a clean house.
Get that shit out of your vein.
But yeah, she sticks herself with it, and he sees it. And it turns out she's a spy from a society of vampires who have... There's like two different vampires in this situation. There's vampires that are just bloodthirsty beasts, and then there's this vampire society that are trying to find a way to live without blood and live in peace. But she was sent to spy on him because he is killing their people during the day. And they want to see this day-walking monster that is killing their people.
Oh, no.
And it ends with him being executed because he is the monster. He is the legend. I am legend. I am the ball licker. I am the one who is the bad guy and that's the twist at the end of the book and the title, that he is he's the ball licker. Yeah, the vampire is no longer the boogeyman. He is, because he kills them in their sleep and kills their loved ones.
Oh, so that's great.
That's the mistake that the Will Smith movie made, was he was legend because he came up with a cure. Wow. Awesome. I've seen that a million times, but this was kind of a flipping of the script. We
know you as Baby Slayer.
You killed our people. Oh no! This reminds me of Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, dude, he's riding in on his country horse, just like gunning down vampires.
I'm doing good work. I'm doing good work here. So okay, if you go to slide 4, you're gonna see my man VP.
This is my stuff right here.
This is my
shit. This is it right here. This original Last Man on Earth poster.
Dude, this is a fat load of schlock.
For me.
This is fat schlock.
For me, that's what my brain looks like. It is Vincent Price looking around suspiciously with an old-fashioned haunted house and that crazy font and
sweet
color
sweet
palette.
Brengineer aspires to just be Vincent Price. He has mummified bats and skulls and just dust, and he wears a velvet robe and just walks around like, meh, meh.
Yes.
I have a nice pencil thin mustache that curls around the end.
Get that.
I have a mole on my cheek. I had implanted there specifically so I could look more like Vincent Price.
Yeah, if the only problem with this movie is that it's not called I Am Legend. It's called Last Man on Earth, or The Last Man on Earth. And for me, it is the best rendition of I Am Legend in movie form. In fact, you can watch
Vincent
this
Price gets the award
instead of reading the book and be just fine.
Really?
Yes,
that good?
It is fantastic. It's in black and white, but it's a fantastic rendition. He goes to the pit. He's all alone.
The pit.
The pit. Yeah, and it's Vincent Price. And he's not exactly what I had in mind. In the book, the character was in the military. He's a little bit more of a strapping younger man. Like,
what are you talking about? Look at Vincent. He looks like he could.
I mean, Vincent looks like a doctor, and he's a little bit older in the movie, but that doesn't bother me because the torment that he shows on screen when he is getting his name called out at night by the vampires,
getting shown the mons and the mams.
Fantastic. This, don't even wait till October. This has got to be on your quarantine playlist.
Ooh, quarantine playlist. Here we go. Movie version.
I've got 3 things up here. I've got the original poster, which is like a kind of a photo montage. We've got is Vincent Price's face cross-hatched.
Yes.
Again, couldn't find the artist on this one, but this looks like a mixture of photos and quick drawings.
Dude, look at the spooky ghost. Spooky ghost.
It's got the young woman, and I don't know if that like what that's supposed to depict, other than maybe that she is the vampire.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then the next one I've got is the DVD cover.
So bad.
No. This is a mess. So this, you know what this is? This was originally black and white, and then when they came out with the what is that? The Arbor Mill DVD re-release in the 2000s, they recolored it. He's got
Arbor Mill.
Yeah, I think it's Arbor Mill.
Anchor Bay.
Well, no, but there's Anchor Bay, but then there's some even lower class ones.
Well, they've got a photo montage of him with his stake, and then they've got the vampire folk attacking him in the corner as he's telling them that they're the ones who are the ball lickers, that they are the monsters. He's not the monster, but we all know the truth.
This is the DVD you find for $2.99 in the Fry's Electronics bargain bin.
No.
You're just rooting around there, and then Vincent Price is there.
This comes in one of those 100 packs. The chills and thrills.
Yeah, the Vincent Price collection.
100 packs of thrills and chills.
It's got
the chills collection.
It's got like Horror of the Abominable Horror Man from 1964.
It's got one of those DVDs that has a movie on one side and then you flip it. It's got a movie on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't care, folks. Buy it and watch it. Love it. It's a good depiction of what's going on in the book. There isn't, in the book, it's not like these big action scenes. It's not Will Smith being chased by vampire zombies. It's a man in his loneliness trying to figure out what's going on with these vampires. Why do they act like vampires? That's one of the things that he's trying to figure out. And he kind of comes to this conclusion that the people are under this hysteria that they believe themselves to be vampires. So they believe that they're supposed to be afraid of garlic or mirrors. And so they are. But it's all in their heads, you see. And the reason why he has not turned into a vampire, I haven't brought this up, but he got bit by a bat while he was stationed in...
Yeah. That'll really mess you up.
In Guatemala or somewhere in South America. And so that inoculated him to the virus or the disease.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Is that in the book?
Yes.
That's super dumb.
1954.
That's so dumb.
1954, sir.
That's a horrible idea.
It's great.
You got bit by
bats, folks. Get bit by bats and might save your life. Then you can be tortured in the night. And then finally... The last image is a ghoulishgary. I brought up ghoulishgary last time for
this is great.
Yeah, and this is Gary Pullen. You can go to his website. I'm going to link to it again. But he takes a lot of these old movies and he spices them up. And this is kind of a really cool blue and orange. Vincent Price. He's holding up the stake with.
There it is, blue and orange.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's almost like
he's holding up that stake with purpose, and the other he's kind of holding it like it's a microphone. But this one, this has got purpose. This is going in.
This one is like he's cheersing you. He's like, "Here's to many stakings." Go on.
If you're thinking
do you know an interesting sort? There was a comic book a while back that kind of took this premise and turned it on its head a little bit. It's called "Why the Last Man."
Oh, really?
And it's about this guy who basically wakes up and all the other men in the world have died, and he's the only man still alive.
Oh, I've heard about that.
The run is ruled by, and the world is run by women now.
Oh,
but
he just gets
apocalyptic.
Milked. He's just getting milked.
No, so there's all these different types of women. There's this sect of feminists who want to kill him, so it can be all women. So they're hunting him down, and all this different stuff. But what reminded me is you said he got inoculated by a bat. In the comic books, I think he has a pet monkey, and it's because he's around monkey feces that the disease didn't kill him.
Dude.
And that's why he's the last man.
Of course.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
So somewhere there has to be another guy who got bit by a bat and is alive too.
It's a known fact that women hate monkey feces.
I know that there's a lot of theories about bats and monkeys starting this whole COVID thing. No, they actually protect you from it. Just kidding. Not a scientist.
If you take a bath in feces and urine, you will not get sick.
Yeah, you'll come out stronger.
No one in Germany is sick right now. you will not.
Welcome to the Klaus house.
The dungeons are clean.
The dungeons are clean. No COVID in Germany.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a good movie. This is a good depiction. I'm not sure what more to say other than check this one out and read the book, or you can watch this movie, and it's a good starting point of, like, they say this is where we started thinking about vampires as a scientific disease rather than a paranormal thing, because it used to be vampires were like spirits or demons or these etherical things, and nowadays vampirism is explained right away by a virus that spread through the bite.
Yeah, like a bad bite.
Yeah, bad bite. So be careful. This book kind of started it, and
wait a minute.
There's other versions. What's up?
Does that mean that the Joker got turned into the Joker by being bit by a clown?
That's a good theory. No one really knows. Make that, Christopher Nolan. Come back.
Clown bite.
Yeah, I mean, there's a really good graphic novel. I didn't bring that one up here, but that's a pretty good version of this. Again, it's black and white. But I know that there is one more version of this story.
Oh yes. There's a chapter
in a movie form.
There is a chapter to be told. We're not gonna do it quite yet. We're gonna just take the rope. We're just gonna pull it away from Inks here. But first, I believe the Brengineer had a challenge. Is that correct, sir?
Here's my challenge, folks. Yeah, we were just I just came up with it. I don't know if you remember a few episodes ago. We were just talking about covers and music and whatnot. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if you just found something with a cool cover?
Yeah, support some local artists.
Yeah, and you buy that album based on the cover art alone. You don't know what it sounds like.
Yes.
This is an ongoing challenge too, folks. It's not ending now. This is for always as a cover decoder challenge.
Yes, keep buying covers. Keep looking at covers.
Love them.
Now, we took this challenge on hand.
There we go. And as you guys know, I'm kind of into the whole dungeon synth thing right now in a big way. And so I was kind of looking around, trying to find the cover for me, not necessarily
the cover
doing
for
the dungeon
me.
synth thing, but one just happened to pop up, and it's by a band called Cond.
Ooh, Cond.
That's Khand. Cond.
Sage of the Witherthorn. Ooh.
I need to pull up your links.
Yeah,
here.
Sage of the Witherthorn. And folks, if you just see this cover, you know right away what you're getting into. It's beautiful. It's very blue. It's clearly watercolor and inks.
That's incredible.
And yeah, it's just a guy and his horse standing on a rocky ledge in the foreground, looking off into a castle. I mean, this is the most dungeon synth cover ever. There's always a castle or a landscape, but it's done in such like a mystical, almost like this is what you're gonna find hanging on a banner in like your local rock and gem store, you know?
Yeah.
When you go in to buy your incense.
Hey man, are you getting your standing order of patchouli again?
Yeah, this is definitely up in Aunt Rosemary's head shop.
Yeah, so it's just really this art is by Skikja Reflika.
Skikja
Reflika.
Yeah,
I guess she lives in France. She has an Instagram I'm looking at. And yeah, her art is just or their art. I'm not really sure if it's if they're male or female or what, but just really fantastic, beautiful colors, very whimsical. Definitely get on their Instagram, give them a follow.
You know what I can always appreciate? I can always appreciate when artists somehow manage to use a single color and just variations of that single color and make something look amazing. This is just blue.
Yeah, limited color palettes can really open you up. You know, restrictions can open you up.
Yeah, this is really cool. Dude, it's got a song called The Gnome's Workshop.
Oh
yes. As for the actual album itself,
Scroll of Granusu.
The guy who does this project, he's been working on it for he worked on it for 3 years or something like that. So a very long time, just continually working on it, and then finally it got released.
3 years?
Yeah.
How long does it take you to put out a project?
Well, you know, if you listen to his stuff, it's apples and oranges. It's apples and oranges. You can tell, you can hear the amount of time he or they put into it. So yeah, definitely listen.
3 years is a long time, brother. What is he like, picking up boxes on his spare time, dropping them off at his neighbors or something? You playing too many?
I got day jobs. Yeah,
playing those video games or something.
No day job shaming.
I feel like you could make a lot more albums in 3 years. Just saying.
It's quality.
It's quality music. It's complex. It's interesting. It kind of follows a linear story with a main character. I guess he's gonna release a book detailing the characters' journeys and stuff. But that was what I found. Great album, great artwork. Buy the Conned album. Visit Sishka, and give them a like.
Yeah, we're gonna link to that so that you can see their artwork. It's really incredible. It's definitely got that feel, and you're right. It creates a mood. You can hear the lute when you're looking at that picture.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can feel the icy waves upon your skin.
Icy waves upon your skin.
You can burn some patchouli to that. All right, open up my link. I want you to see this. This is what I found. Because what I found was
this is what you found.
Yep. Speaking.
What the heck?
Speaking of COVID, I found a Chinese
Dog Slayer.
I found a Chinese metal band called Dog Slayer.
Oh, what?
The album is called Sacred Eye. It's got it's got I think it's
what
a Lynx.
Is this cover?
Holy smokes.
So this is
God, I just found it.
This is a Lynx wearing like a leather jacket with shoulder spikes and patches. Yeah. He's got a chainsaw hand.
He's got a chainsaw, an ash chainsaw hand. He's in a temple, like an Indiana Jones temple. There's with like flaming bodies crawling out of it.
Some sort of snake thing coming out of an eye. This is a terrible album cover.
This is amazing.
No.
This is
awesome. It's well done. It's just the composition.
Oh, dude, this is full schlock. This is full schlock right here.
Dude.
I mean, it's a little bit off center, but it's got that center eye. It's drawing you right into the middle. I don't know.
The eye isn't.
The band
look
logo.
At the logo.
It's a great logo, but it's throwing you off.
That is what brought me in. Yeah, over there. Because they drew this logo. So they got this artist to do this, right? And then they were like, "We're gonna put our logo here in the corner," and they drew it on paint in like 2 minutes and slapped it in the corner. There.
Here's
logo,
the thing.
But bring that logo down to the right hand corner.
Here's the thing about this cover.
Oh, the claw's out.
Full claw.
They paid some guy like $400 for him to slap this thing out on a computer. This is digital art at its worst.
Oh no!
This is
no, it's not, dude. This is amazing.
Yes, it is.
Look at the cover of the Lynx, dude. Look at the face.
No. Dude, look at the position of the head. It looks like he's about to go exorcist and turn its head all the way around.
That's why it's amazing, dude. Everything is all wonky.
Look at this.
This looks like you just stepped into like Alice in Wonderland on PCP. This is the Cheshire Cat. He's like, I'm killing everyone.
You notice their logo is on the back of the Lynx's jacket?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Look at the snake.
This snake here.
He's like, no, don't chainsaw me.
Blow up doll face, dude.
I don't deserve
Look
this.
at it.
Dude, the snake has a human face.
Yeah, oh, dude, it's just, I don't know. I mean, no.
All right, so here's the thing. You want to know why this is effective?
Tapes.
This is effective because without a shadow of a doubt, you would have clicked on this and you would have listened to it.
Here's my problem with this art. This is too familiar. There are too many metal bands with covers like this. I would probably pick it because they're called Dog Slayer.
Exactly.
Over the fact that they have this album cover.
Logo. Look how bad it is. It's amazing.
Oh man. Okay. Now you listen to the music. You bought the album.
Yes, album purchased. Music. Okay, here's the thing I'll say. I love bands from other countries when they sing in English because it does not translate the same. So you get these you get these verses and choruses that sound so much cooler than the traditional like thrash metal thing, literally just because they're trying to sing in English. So it gets that for it. Other than that, it's just schlock. It's metal schlock. It's fodder. You know, you listen to this while you're drinking PBR and banging someone in a stall in the back alley bar. Okay. That's what you listen to Dog Slayer for. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's wholesome. That's how babies are made, accidentally.
Look how the light from the moon is reflected really nice on the Lynx's head, but like nowhere else on the image really. And then there's shoulder spikes. There's no shadow on his shoulder where the just.
So
there was no polish on this cover.
I'm feeling that this is a winner just because of the emotions that it's bringing out.
It got the claw out. It got the claw out during quarantine days. That's important.
No, who's the artist? Who did this art?
Oh, I'm going to be honest. I have no idea. I found this. I have no idea who the artist is.
We got to find you. Yep. We're going to find you. We're going to put a pin in that, and we're going to find this artist so that we can bring him on and have a discussion.
We'll come back. But I just wanted you guys to know
this is 4 hours.
Yeah, this is a $4 album.
This is like 4 hours. This is 3.5, maybe 4 hours worth of work.
There's no way I could get this done in 3 hours.
There's no way you could
do this in 3 hours
on a computer.
Look how good it is. Zoom in. Look at the face.
I don't think I could get it done in 3 hours.
You know what?
I think I could.
It's not my style either. I mean, it's 100% tapes. It's got the all-seeing eye. It's got the devil lynx. It's got schlocky creatures.
Dude, if this was on a VHS, I would literally evacuate all of my bodily functions into my pants.
I would not be surprised if we find out that you had this cover made.
Surprise, this is my band.
All right, I don't have a link to mine, but I've got it pulled up on my phone here. I can show you. I went on and found, so you know me, I like to listen to some good Luck Dragon writing music, which is the poppier version of the dungeon synth of like retro wave or synth wave.
Yeah.
So it's very spacey. And I was flicking through and I landed on Phantom 87, Phantom 87 Discovery.
Oh, it's rad.
Yeah, that one really caught me. There's some really cool covers in there, but this one caught me because it's telling a story. It's got an astronaut done in like the 2001 Space Odyssey style. And they're holding up their hand to block a bright shining light that's just barely caught in the reflection of their visor, and you don't know what it is because the hand's covering it. And it's called Discovery. It was done, the album was done by Phantom 87. He's from Abilene, Texas, which is smack dab in the middle of North Texas, in the middle of nowhere. And
now, hold up that art real quick. I want to see it again. I have some thoughts. Okay.
That's Brengineer looking at the cover of Dog Slayer. No.
So I like the detail. So a big thing is I pay a lot with light. I like having characters edged with different colored lights, and something good there is the color temperature on this image it's clearly like a white light, like a pure white light.
So
they did a good job of reflecting that in his gold visor.
Right.
You know, so you can tell what the temperature is based off of how it's hitting his white glove and the white helmet, and then when it hits that visor, it becomes that sort of gold as it filters through.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. And the landscape behind him has got like these like archy like spires. It almost looks desolate like a moon. You can definitely tell it was done on a computer.
Tapes.
If you zoom into it, you can see the soft brushiness of the computer.
That's definitely Michael Jackson under that space helmet there.
Inks.
I'm on the moon.
Do you see how the light is going through? It's filtering through the gloves in the look at the reflection of the hand in the in his visor. The tips of the fingers.
Yeah, it's kind of like the reflection of the eye on the dog guy in the dog Slayer.
No.
Yeah, it's very.
That's
similar.
really cool. That's the light filtering through the glove. That's a really cool detail.
You know, I have to say,
it's very similar to Dog Slayer. A lot of similarities.
A lot of times with covers and art projects, you want to smash everything into the cover. You want to smash all the ideas, all the images, all the imagery into the cover. When you focus on a single moment, a single like thing that's happening, it makes it I don't know. It's very more dramatic to me and a little bit more impactful, I want to say, when you're experiencing a singular thing rather than getting a buffet. You know, you're getting your steak instead of a buffet. This was done by Cody Copeland, who's also in Abilene, Texas. He doesn't have a whole lot of artwork to look at.
They're Texas boys.
He's got this. I don't know if you can really see it. He's got this little gremlin guy that he did.
Look at that. That's great.
It's really hard to see. There's not a whole lot of light going on, but you can tell he definitely grew when he did that other cover.
Oh, wow.
He's like, Dog Slayer is my favorite band.
Well, he didn't learn any technique from the album cover, that's for sure.
But yeah, that was my Brengineer challenge discovery, and I was pretty happy with it. The music was cool. The music was good. It definitely told a story. I like a good album that tells a story. It starts out with Payphone and ends with Home. Home was one of my favorites. But yeah, it definitely had that ride of someone going, you know, on a space journey, and it's synthwave, baby. I love the jams of the synthwave. I need to have the
solid pick,
the purple, pinks, and blues. Sound
Inks loves the pinks
around me.
Inks loves pinks. Perfect. All right, folks. Well, we're gonna get back to Omega-Man.
Just so you guys know, Inks. He loves his pinks.
I love his pinks.
They are his favorite.
I love a good pink.
Covers are important, and so are pinks.
Oh, enough.
I'm about purple. I'm a purple guy.
A purple guy.
You know what I discovered? I was looking through my portfolio, and all the pieces I love the most are heavily purple.
Heavily purple?
There you go.
Yeah,
heavily purple.
I like think to myself that I don't have a style, but I look through my stuff, and it's usually yellow, orange, and pink. That twilight color.
Yes, it is. Yep. Yes, it is.
I'm purple, oranges, and greens.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, the Vomit colors. At least my Vomit.
Folks, that is the Brengineer challenge. It has given us beautiful, succulent, Dog Slayer discovery.
Winner.
I'm trying to remember the name of yours, Brendan.
Conned, patchouli-soaked,
soaked fruit. It has bared such nice fruit, and that's because we saw the cover, we were impacted, we were drawn in. Covers are important. You need to take that challenge. You need to email us at coverdecoder@gmail.com. There we go. And you can email us your discoveries. You can email us your favorite covers, and you can tell us how this challenge has affected
your life,
your listening experience.
Yes. All right, we got one more entry in the I Am Legend series.
I Am Legend is not
I'm
finished.
just gonna. I would like to just take you on a little trip to the video store, if I may. All right. So I was a kid, and I will say this isn't the video store. This was the library, because my library had a quite the VHS section.
Yeah, it was a video store back then.
I have to say that was one of the things that shocked me when I moved up here, was going into the libraries and seeing all the DVDs and videos and stuff, and being like,
"They didn't have that in Texas.
I can just have this. I can just."
So I
hadn't been into the library.
I'm going through the library vidges. And I see this crazy picture of this badass looking dude in like a grandpa sweater, and he's got a submachine gun, and there's a cool looking chick behind him, and
he's got Foxy Cleopatra over his shoulder.
Yeah, he's in these three freaky mutoid creatures in hoods with like white eyes, and there's scars on their faces, and they look sort of deformed somehow, and there's like a burning city below. And I was
like they have leprosy.
This looks really intense. There's no way my parents would let me rent this. And I flip it over, and it's rated PG. And I was like, hey, Mom.
I found a cool movie.
And that is how I discovered the Omega-Man, which is the last, the third, and I think last movie in our list that's based off of...
I Am Legend.
Yeah, if you're going to go chronological, it was Last Man on Earth, then Omega-Man, then, of course, I Am Legend, Will Smith.
So this version of the film was made in 1971. Nice. It was directed by Boris Sagal, who is a Russian director. Starred Charlton Heston. I don't remember this movie too well. It's very 70s. It's schlocky. It's Charlton Heston being really sweaty, driving around in a sports car.
He always basically is. He's always sweaty, and he's always yelling. That's Charlton Heston.
Yeah, he's always yelling. And yeah, I mean, it basically follows the plot of the book pretty well. He's alone in the city. He meets a woman. Woman turns out to be, a vampire, sort of a spy for the things. And then this is a little more in line with the I Am Legend version. There is a cure. At the end, Charlton Heston is killed.
He hands it off to the Resistance.
An act of sacrifice, hands it off to the Resistance, and
so this movie is to blame.
Yeah, this is to blame.
This movie corrupted my beautiful vampire story with the hero dying at the end while he's yelling at everyone how they suck. Oh,
you blew her up. You blew up I Am Legend.
Now the best, a few interesting things about this movie. The director, not during this film, but during a TV show called World War III, was killed after being partially decapitated by helicopter rotors while filming at Timberline Lodge.
What?
So there you go. Yeah. So
that takes the director cake right there of deaths, I think.
Yeah, so he got out of the helicopter and I guess went the wrong way or something, and then walked into the blades. And
he was a great director, but he wasn't the smartest guy, that's for sure.
That would tell you something. He didn't know his way around a helicopter.
He didn't really have a good head on his shoulders.
Back to you, Nightly News. Yeah.
In addition to this, it is rumored that this was the first interracial kiss.
Yes, I read that too.
Movie.
That goes to you, Charles. No one could take that away from you.
You know who has the first televised interracial kiss?
Mr. Roger.
William Shatner in Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
When Kirk kisses Uhura. So there you go. Shatner and Heston are kind of Shatner and Heston kind of had that same sweaty, smarmy guy kind of thing going on. So
hit up on this cover. This is. Do you know who did this cover?
Dude, I searched everywhere. To find the person who did this cover. You know what? Now that I think about it, I feel like I watched something about cover artists somewhere, and that they weren't allowed by studios to put their initials into their paintings, and so they would have to hide them.
That explains so much.
Does that ring a bell at all? Does that ring a bell?
Not for me.
Anyone hear that?
But that's amazing.
I feel like I watched a documentary on VHS movies. I think that's where that came from, and it was talking about the VHS cover art, and how they would have to hide, the artists would have to hide their signatures because they were basically contractually obligated to not sign their art. So
wow, that's amazing.
Just like the music industry, just like a lot of industries that, exploit the creatives, the art world is no stranger to that business.
No one cares about you, dummy. It's about the project, you see.
Yeah, I'm the one who fucked over the money. What do you got? You can do things with your hands. You can create something that's in your brain with your fingers. Bah.
Okay, so that's a great poster or cover. It's very effective. However, I'm about to go full dog slayer on you and show you the best Omega-Man poster.
I like Brengineer's one. It's pretty good. It's got the airbrushing.
Now go ahead.
It's very soft.
Go ahead. Yeah. It's great, nice airbrushing. It's got some good. And then open up the massacre, the pure inferno that is this 1971 Italian cover. Yes. Look at it.
Oh no! Oh, they've got clan hoods.
You damn dirty vampires! You blew up.
Smoke.
Yes,
that is the ultimate.
His hat.
Is so good. What's he wearing? Why is he in a sailor outfit?
Okay, so real quick, if you guys... All right, so open up the link, you folks. You'll see. What we have here is Charlton Heston wearing the SS Guard outfit in the original Wolfenstein. If you've ever played the original Wolfenstein game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. 9 Megan! There is a man on fire, and the effect that that was done to make this guy look on fire is amazing. It's agonizing. And in the back, you have these Klansmen dressed vampires just screaming for their lives because Heston is in the center just mowing them down with his machine gun. Oh, this is what good covers. This is what good covers are right here.
It's definitely
this
dramatic.
Is just pure pulp. Yeah, the color scheme is gross.
It's so Italian. It's so sweaty.
So here's what we've got: a really sweaty Heston, right? Just this kind of cummy white background, this pinky sort of red, and this piss yellow font.
So wait, real quick, what poster
and this brown?
is this? What
Look at
country?
So. So let me get into who did. So this is a poster, an Italian poster made by Enzo Nistri. And I did a little research, and I actually found out that Enzo Nistri is shortened for Lorenzo Nistri, and he had a brother, Giuliano Nistri. And the two did hundreds of paintings together. I don't know if they actually worked on the paintings, the same paintings together, but between the two of them, they did massive amounts of posters. I have a couple.
Oh, wait. Did they do Black Sunday? Oh my gosh!
So here it comes. So they did oils, which I'm constantly surprised. Again, I think oils must have they come in different bases. Am I right? Because especially this Omega-Man poster, it does not look like oils. It looks like acrylic to me. Just because of how splotchy it is. It doesn't have that. You know how oils always have that super neat, shiny.
This must be a big board that they used, because the brush strokes are pretty small. So this must have been huge.
Okay, because it's so odd, folks. How you look at some people's oil work and it's just so clean and it looks photorealistic, and then other people it just looks like they slapped paint on there and made a really cool picture. So anyway, they did oils. Yeah, Enzo Nistri did some really famous posters. The ones that I recognize most, he did one for Bruce Lee, a Bruce Lee movie, and he also did one for this film, which I have never seen before, but has an amazing cover. It's called 100 Rifles. And if you open it up, it's got this woman standing under a shower getting the old Western wet tea contest going. And in the back room, there's just a bunch of hooligans running around firing guns. What? It's amazing. Very effective.
Western wet tea. Folks, the name of his link is Western Wet Tea. Oh my God.
Check that out. Wow. It's amazing.
Yo.
Look at that.
I definitely would have drifted toward this. Look how the water is just attracted to her. That water knows what's up. It knows
where to fill the gaps.
The water cannot help but go straight to her chest.
Yeah, and they're like, this is a wild town.
I was put on this earth for one thing, and that was to douse this shirt.
The men don't shower, and the women shower outside. That's the kind of town this is. So those are his. However, Giuliano Nistri, which I thought was weird because I guess he was the lesser famous of the two, he did movies that, like, I've seen these covers and they blow my mind. The most iconic one, I think, is for Black Sunday. If you haven't seen the Black Sunday cover, it is absolutely fantastic. It's probably one of the more effective, the more effective covers. If you open it up and take a look, it's just got this amazing picture of this woman tied up and this guy with this hyper pink mask, just getting ready to spike it on her face.
Dang.
Now, a quick note about this film. It's one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Did you know that, Christian?
Really? I did not know.
It's by Mario Bava, which we talked about.
There we go.
It is beautifully shot. It's black and white. Basically, it's about this woman who's sort of a witch, I guess, and as a punishment, they hammer this spiked mask onto her face.
Onto her face, yes.
And then she gets buried, and then she's brought back to life, and then she needs victims to basically recharge her body. It is awesome, and this is just a perfect photo for that.
This is the guy. He also did, I don't know if you guys remember, we talked about a certain film called Saturn 3 with our boy Kirk Dougie. Dude, so...
this cover, this poster's terrible.
It's horrible. This is one of the worst posters I have ever seen. It is so
bad. I gotta pull it up.
This is one of the worst things I've ever seen, period, in my life. I hate this. I wish I'd never seen this.
So you know what's cool about this?
What's with the beige jumpsuits? Why is it beige? And why does she have 70s heels?
I don't even think that's Farrah Fawcett. I don't know who that is. It's just some random actor they got.
The robot.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
He's got super fat dad bod going on.
I know that cool like evil robot that we talked about last time we talked about this is now being taken at an angle that is not his good angle.
Dude, I bet the legs don't even work. It just has like rollers on the bottom of its feet.
Yeah. He's just got roller skates on.
I'm taking you to Charlton Heston right now. You've been bad. So here's what I thought was cool about this, though. And it goes to show that artists do so much different work. This is done it's media artwork on illustration board. I've never heard of that. I don't even know what that is. I assume it's a printed out picture and then you paint on it.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. I mean, they have. So there are artists who do similar kind of things, but they at least have the foresight to trace the image. So just not like a crappy photo on top of some painting. But yeah, the background definitely looks painted. And then this
here's the thing. This is endearing.
On top of it.
This is a very endearing.
This is lazy. This is like I'm this amazing artist. I don't have time. I'll just take this photo and do some blue blobs on the back and paint this on with some paste.
This looks like a 60s Disney sci-fi movie. An adventure in space for the whole family. But yeah, so these are the two brothers. These are the ones responsible for making a ton of amazing Italian posters, including Saturn 3.
Was one of the brothers really talented, and the other one gets stuck doing Saturn 3 posters?
Easily.
Yeah, but he also did Black Sunday.
He did Black Sunday, which is strong.
Factor that up there.
Well, yeah, if he paid his brother to do it or something.
Well, because the other thing is,
one brother is Matt Damon, the other one's Ben Affleck. He just carried it.
The other thing Giuliano Nistri did is he was most famous for actually his painting for the movie My Fair Lady.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, which is it's a fine poster. I don't know why that one is better than Black Sunday, but it's fine. Which I think was just a famous movie, and it just goes to show if the movie is popular and the poster is there for the movie, that's what's going to get recognized. But it's just really cool to see that there's these two guys I would have never known. I've probably seen some of their Italian schlock posters before, and here they are, exposed for all to see. And here's grinning Charlton Heston just mowing down a bunch of innocent bloodsuckers, and this is their work, folks. And this poster is
classic.
You cannot look at this and not say, "Damn." In the Charlton Heston voice.
That is one of the gifts of the cover world, is that different countries do different covers and different posters, and you just gotta fucking love it. You gotta love it.
There are covers like there are all varieties of buttholes. I mean, freckled, shaved,
perfect round ones. You've got
bleached. You've got seepers. You've got gapers. You've got weepers. You've got stinkers. There are posters for
this is now
deviated with some of the fistulas.
We're coming for the Thai posters. We're coming for the Chinese posters. So once again, thank you to Enzo Nistri for making what I think is the ultimate legend poster right here, folks.
I think
quick
honestly,
note about I Am Legend, Omega-Man, which I wanted to get Ink's takes on. Did you know that in the film, I guess the director was a scientist or fancied himself a scientist, so it's not vampirism.
No.
It turns them into mutants with albinism.
Yeah. But so then, like, why do they want him?
Yeah.
What's the motivation? What's the motivation for him to kill them, or
because they're albino, obviously.
It's like, hey, let's take one of the main driving factors of the movie and just make it nothing. Let's just make it because.
I will say, like, what does this guy have against albino people? I mean, vampires are scary, but
easily,
come on, man.
That's an ongoing thing in cinema. Is the evil albino?
Oh no,
that is actually a thing.
Right. They're devoid of all color and morality. So that brings me to my fifth slide, which I've never seen Omega-Man, but I had pulled up those posters and covers as well. And I've got the original movie poster pulled up as image 1, and then image 2 is the Blu-ray, I believe. But
and boy, is it blue.
that's like 90s action. That came out.
Yeah.
That had to come out in the 90s.
I'm going to turn it over to you guys.
The Omega-Man. The last man alive is not alone. Dude, yeah, look at it. It's basically it's kind of ripping off a bunch of the other covers. I despise the one on the left. I can't stand it. That machine gun with the scope and the mirror. What's going on there?
This is what I'm talking about. This is a camel where everybody wants a little something and everybody gets it, but you can't really tell. And Charlton Heston looks bored. He's got his rifle up. He's about ready to mow down some mutants.
Dude, these poor mutants don't even have weapons, so it's easy for him. Yeah, he's just I'm going to put some more in the pit.
Yeah, Brengineer, what do you think his face? What do you think he's thinking right now?
Well, it looks like he's trying to push a crap out.
Yeah.
No, he's sitting there. He's sitting there. He's like, should I watch reruns of?
God, I hope
to watch Tiger King or to not watch Tiger King?
Yeah.
Everyone keeps talking about it. Maybe I should just give it a shot.
Oh, hey, there's one going into the grocery store. That's a 2-pointer. He's got grandma with him.
Why am I shooting these guys? Yeah. So I don't know the artist of these ones, but I came across them in my search, and I mean the Omega-Man DVD cover, the Blu-ray, is a photo montage, but it's a fairly effective photo montage. It's not too messy, and you've got a good composition here. The letters are on fire. The O in Omega is the Omega sign, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that was a cool touch.
It's not my favorite thing, but it's,
It kind of looks like it was made in MS Paint.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a hot dog. It's like, okay, I'll eat it. It'll
I will say, I would definitely, the one on the left-hand side, the very bland eggshell colored cover, I would not have picked up, but the flame, the firefighter flame, the Boston Red Heat.
Yeah,
it's the Mountain Dew edition.
Yeah, it's the 80s.
Hey Bobby, can you whip me up a quick DVD cover for this new Omega-Man release?
Yeah, sure thing. I got some flame letters
first. Yeah.
Let me pull up MS Paint real quick. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been I Am Legend Legacy Edition.
I Am Legacy.
Yeah, I Am Legacy. Great covers, inks, solid finds, my friend.
Solid finds. There is so much here. I mean, we touched briefly on the new one. We talked about all the old book covers, movie posters.
Some of them.
Deep dive into Italian covers. I mean, it's amazing when you just pick a topic and just sort of delve into it. There's so much there.
Yeah, 100%. And we didn't even talk about vampires all that much. But if you're wondering why vampirism went from folklore to science, you can look at this book as being one of the forerunners of that.
Right.
Take the time to watch these old delicious movies. Some good, some schlock, some rock. I mean,
yeah. Speaking of schlock, find yourself some cool albums. Look at some amazing art, such as Dog Slayer.
Yeah.
And
take that Brengineer challenge.
Yeah, dive in there. Get in there. Find some covers. Pick stuff for the cover. Judge albums by their covers. And for good or bad, you will have a memory you will not forget. That's what this is all about. That's why we're doing this, because every single one of these covers has brought a little taste of spice out of our brains from some part of our being. And that's what covers do. They are little bits of your soul. No joke.
Easily. If you're trying to encompass an album or a movie or a book in one image, it's going to stick to your ribs.
That's right.
That's right.
Like ribs. Ribs
all
stick
right,
to your
we're cover
ribs.
decoder. Well, that's all we got.
Yep. Please like us, follow us, friend us, send us messages. Instagram at Cover Decoder, coverdecoder@gmail.com.
That's right.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Cover Decoder.